Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approval of the minutes of June 15th meeting. Do I have a motion to approve that?
I would motion to approve the minutes from June 13th,
Was it the 17th?
17th.
That was wrong then?
I think it's June 17th. You had that meeting. Right?
That says 15th on the agenda, but
But you had, I was gone. So did you have it on that Tuesday, the 17th?
Yes.
Okay. So it's the
So
17th. then.
that was wrong. It's not the 15th,
Okay.
17th. Dan corrected.
I'd make a motion to approve the minutes on the proper date.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, treasurer's report. Kevin?
I'm getting there. Okay, now I got it up. We started out in June 1st at 339,543 in the checking account. Taxes and stuff, we got 53,172 for the month and stuff in there. Nothing big in there and stuff in there. It's basically though, if you look at our total expenditures, we should be at 50%. 50% of what we think we're gonna get for budget and stuff in there, and for the most part, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good on that. The biggest expenditure was the trees, 82,700 at 37, so the other stuff was pretty routine and stuff like in there. We did get some culverts, a bunch of culverts. We replenished our stock because we were getting down pretty low. And so at the end of the 30 June, we had 237,360 and a checking account. So we're looking pretty good going in there, that have enough money in there to pay for the dust control and stuff. Gravel and all that.
Do I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report as read?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'd second that.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, old business. Hidden Valley Slurry update. It got, we're done over there. I think it looks really nice. Aaron from DGR was there, and there's 2 engineers over there.
Yeah, there's 2 engineers over there. So.
And we were there about every day, watching what they did. It's leaving some tracks now with these hot days. The cars or trucks sitting there and they're loading it. It tracks a little bit, but it will smooth out because of the heat over the summers. So that's done.
No, I mean, you have the
Do want to send Travis, thank you. He went way above what he should have done.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that should be the best armored blacktop area that's gonna be in the township, I bet. They've done 3 different coats on it, so. Yeah, we probably went there. Okay, now 267th Street Bridge. That's over by Funky's and Wrights. Well, we signed the paperwork to go ahead and do it, but he hasn't given us a starting date yet. We can probably work it out if it's in the combining or farming at a time that's not suitable, but we'll see where it gets closer.
I did talk with Jacob Morris and stuff in there and worked with him. We got all the paperwork now for the county for the bill or for the bids, the engineer costs and all that and stuff in there. So they get reimbursement back from the county. And so. It took a little bit, but we did get it, that completed, so for reimbursements wise, we should be good to go. Cause that's out of that REIF fund, REF fund, and that goes to the county, and then the county gives us a percentage.
That fund is funded by the county, but they assist us in
This is from the state.
repairing bridges and stuff. Okay, then we have FEMA, which Kevin up on that.
We finished, or finally finalized the FEMA for the debris removal, that increase in cost. It got, it's in there waiting and stuff in there. They haven't sent when they're gonna send a check. They said they have until August. And I was getting pretty frustrated with them. I was going back and forth with them because to completely finalize the FEMA for that event, I need that approved, and then we work on the managerial costs. I submitted it, but now that there was an increase, we can increase our managerial costs because it went longer. And so, but it's getting close. They're close. The lights at the end of the tunnel, it's just pretty foggy up and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're real slow, and, I'm assuming there's other events that they're getting involved in, pulling people to or whatever, but we at least got all the paperwork approved and done in there. So we'll see we'll keep it on the agenda, but next month hopefully we'll have the check, at least the check for it.
Clear it up. Any questions? Okay. Then we'll move on to new business.
So I sent to you a request from the state. They are wanting to relocate the roadway connection to South Dakota Highway 42 and 267th Street. And there's, instead of it connecting, sorry, I don't have anything bigger. Instead of it connecting, way over here, there would be a connection up here. And they were just asking if they put that red line connection in, pay for it, would the township then maintain that gravel? So consistent with what we've done before, if it's put in, but they have to get consent to the landowners, and if it's built up to specs, we can get an agreement with them that we'll maintain it, but if it has to be redone, they have to do it again. So we can draft something up if you're willing to do that. I just need to know. And we're not forcing
I don't see
Same as we're doing now.
Yeah, we're not forcing the state to do anything or the landowners to agree to anything,
No, that's all up to them.
so.
Then they're gonna negotiate with them. They said that the angle is going from a 55 to a 75. Going on, because of the turns it goes onto it, and then they have to look back, so they're changing the angle.
So I'll just put in there that the supervisors are willing to consider an agreement to maintain it. And then we'll see if we can get the agreement. So, if that's what you want to do. Barb?
Yep, sure.
Okay, I don't need a motion. I'll just get back to it.
No other new business? Elected officers, Todd, you wanna?
Oh, we got a Douglas Avenue. On the new business, Douglas Avenue.
you
I
wanna-
think you must have an old one.
I don't have a,
We did have one more. old business.
oh, okay, one more new business or old
Let's
business?
do the one more new business. It's a shorter one.
Okay, what is it? Douglas Avenue?
Douglas Avenue for Karen Rollander.
Is that on the agenda or is it
It
public
is.
comment? Okay, sorry, okay, thanks, go ahead.
On the
Sorry.
south end of Douglas Avenue, I'm just asking the township if I could have permission to mow it. The current landowner only maintains part of it, and it's becoming full of weeds and stuff, but I'm willing to mow it just to keep the weeds and crap from going into my yard. It's in the right of way. Todd and Marv come out and looked at it, so that's all I have on it.
It's in the right of way, Lisa, just.
Yeah, so if you want to grant permission, just make a motion.
Definitely make a motion to give permission to maintain it
Okay.
at their own free will.
Cool, thank you.
At their
Just
own
a second.
expense. At their own-
Yeah, can you spell your last name for me?
ROLLINGER. Mark?
Yeah, and it's to mow what section, just so I can have minutes. Do you have a street address?
Douglas Avenue would be on the south end,
South end of Douglas Avenue?
West side.
west side,
West side of Douglas Avenue?
correct.
In the right of way, okay. Douglas Avenue. Okay,
That's why they're
so somebody's made a motion to allow the Rollingers to mow the west side of Douglas Avenue in the right of way at the Rollingers' expense. Who made that
here.
motion?
That was I.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Taken care of.
Is that a self-propelled or push?
Push. Easier to push it than it is to pick the weeds out of my yard that are starting to grow there. Okay? You're getting thistles, you're getting all kinds of things in there.
All right.
Okay, elected official update.
Oh, that court's-
That's, we don't have an agenda, but
Well, I had it on here, Lisa.
Yeah, that's on there. It's on the email.
I don't know, Pam, I got the agenda from Pam, so I don't,
Well, there's been 3 updates.
Yeah.
it's not that we're not gonna talk about it, I just don't have it on the last agenda that was.
It was on the most recent one that I got and I sent out, so,
Yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's under old business
Yeah,
then?
number 4.
Okay,
Okay, we'll open up for a court site.
Old business or in,
Old business.
It's old business.
okay, I know that both fire chief is on his way, he's a little bit late. Call him detour.
Okay.
I can't speak for the fire department.
so, I don't know what you guys are wanting to talk about, because we don't have anything. If you guys are wanting to talk about court site, then you need to talk about court site.
It'd be a
But
discussion.
they don't have
We
anything.
wanna make
that
sure
they're-
the road stays closed as it is now.
But the petition doesn't override that decision.
There's a petition going around to open court site
Okay,
in private somewhere,
okay,
and we just wanna make sure that it stays closed because everybody knows it'll be a highway through there and it's not intended to be a highway, so.
how many people are here wanting court site to stay closed? Could you raise your hand? I'm just gonna write down one, because I'm just gonna write down the numbers, right? So if you want it high enough, I can read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Sorry, I don't know if I can count the, okay, 16. So how many people are here in favor of opening it? 1. High enough, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Public road.
Okay,
It's not a highway though.
Who
That's what it'll be.
Who lives there?
Who
Well,
lives on First
yeah,
and-
that's-
so,
Oh, is that what we're going by?
There you go.
So I can shut down 265th?
No,
'Cause
but
I
we're
live
the
on
ones
it?
whatever
that,
you
yeah, we're the ones
okay,
that-
okay, so
Everybody's impacted by it, it's road.
Everybody's
we will
impacted by
let
it,
people
right.
speak. I was just trying to do something very simple right now. So if you want to speak, please raise your hand and let the chair call on you and state your
Go
name.
ahead.
Mike Kleinetz on Quartzsite. I guess my question would be, of these 130-some people that signed the petition, how many live in this area? I mean, I can go with my background in teaching and coaching, I can go get 300.
So we don't have a signed petition that's been presented to the
So we don't
supervisors.
know
So
if these
I
people
have no
live here.
idea. We don't have a petition that's been filed.
Okay,
So right now, there's some supposed petition, but we don't recognize it because it hasn't been sent. So
that's answered that question. Thank you.
who else wants to speak? Okay, speak your name. Guys, state your name though for me,
I'm
please.
sorry.
Go ahead.
My
Whoever
name
he has
is,
to recognize
he
you.
doesn't recognize me.
What's your name and
Yeah, where shall I say it? Nikki Cox. I sent you guys an email. I just want to know, we had to, when there wasn't enough money, I think, in the county taxes, we had to personally shell out roughly $4,000 per house, right? Did the businesses have to shell out the extra money for our road as well, that want to use it?
would they?
No,
Did
did
they?
they, Kevin? There were
Did
no businesses, it was all
Well,
just.
there's only the people that are considered in that development. And those businesses are all in Pleasant View, and so they pay a front footage to Pleasant View for dust control. But you get advantage of, but they're going on your oil.
Because if that road, when it was open and we had the thousands of cars a day, including semis and trucks with the multiple vehicles on it and hogs and the whole thing, that's wear and tear on that road that we paid for. So obviously the life expectancy wouldn't, be the same with 2,000 plus cars or whatever the counters that you guys set up counted, right?
Well, this is what I haven't seen the petition, but that was one of the things when I heard it. And I talked to one of them, and I'm the finance guy. So in this petition is that the people in the Split Rock Township that will pay for your road if they open it up.
Right.
What's this petition for? What, type of deal? Just to gain access to go.
It's just for convenience, obviously.
Yeah, and so I would have, if the petition ever comes through, that for me financially, to answer your question, because not everybody pays for that in a development, not the whole township, because it's considered the development of your road. Hopefully that answered your question.
Yep, it did, thank you.
Stephen Bill. Ask if you
Any other conversation?
Julie Daly. I would just like to bring up the safety concern of that. Obviously, we have little kids in the neighborhood, we have bike riders, we have people walking their dogs, hundreds of people every day walking on there. When the road was open and we have the speeds and the numbers and everything, it's not safe for people in the neighborhood to even have their kids out riding their bikes. And if you have kids yourself or grandkids, you would not want them to be out on that road. It was not safe. I mean, the highest speed was 70 miles per hour or something that was reported on there. There was 1,500 cars a day. I mean, you guys have the numbers.
We got through it.
But it was it's as a member that lives on the road, it's inconvenient for everybody. We all have to go
I had
around.
to drive all the way around tonight.
Just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
Not
just
that big
wait
deal.
one at a time.
Yeah.
You give
So
a comment.
anyway, that's just what I would like to bring up. I know I think it's poor planning on the city to close down 26th Street. At the same time, they did highway, or East 10th Street and all that's not our homeowners. Like, we should be able to walk go for bike rides and stuff in our neighborhood. It should be safe for us.
We're about a week and a half into 26th Street, so hopefully a week and a half, they'll be open again.
That's good.
Maybe.
That'll help.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah. So that's just my concern, is the safety for people that living in the neighborhood. I get it's inconvenient for every single person because we all just don't stay in Sioux Falls. We're all going to other parts of the city and to Brandon and other places as well.
Right.
So.
Anyone else?
Julie Smith, I just want to echo Julie's comments. I have 3 small children who live on Quartzsite. There are no sidewalks. It's a narrower road. In addition to the volume and the speeds, we have seen people absolutely not paying attention. They're looking at their phones. That's not unique to this area, but certainly looking at it taking an unfamiliar route is absolutely unsafe. Recognizing convenience, recognizing the impact of the businesses. We told our children, you will not be able to ride your bikes in our neighborhood until all of the construction would be eliminated and it would go back to where it was pre-construction.
Can I ask a question back?
Yeah.
So we had a comment that came back to us to open up the barriers a little bit to get a bicycle through so people could go to the Uncle Ed's and stuff in there. What's your feeling on that? Because I said if people just buy a motorcycle and start going through there, I don't know I'd like just an opinion on that.
Frank Cox. Yeah, we see lots of bicycles going. We have no problem with anybody on a bicycle. We just don't want the car traffic going.
Okay.
The problem is people keep taking the barriers down and they're getting destroyed. The bags are getting destroyed.
We keep
They
moving them
keep, they
back.
keep putting them back. They keep taking them down.
Okay.
They insist that they have the right to take them down.
Just to enlighten that a bit further, we rode our bikes here tonight from that space.
Okay.
There's enough room that one of the metal posts that had an orange cone over it has been kind of flattened. It's in Bob's, I don't know Bob's last name.
Okay.
It's in his yard, but I mean, we.
There was a request and that's why I was just kind of curious. I'll let you.
Yeah, I mean, motorcycles can get through there if they really want to. It's not ideal.
Yeah.
Kurt Anderson, I want to know what's the amount of traffic considered safe on a small road like we got in a day? I'd like to know what that is.
I don't know if there is a set number. I never heard one.
Without curb and gutter and no sidewalk.
I don't know.
There's no standard.
I've never
for
heard
that,
of
but
that. Well, you work for the city too. You never heard nothing down there either. We got areas that don't have it on the west side of town. So, and they never
I
brought
did
it up.
a quick search on Google. It said 600 on a standard city road with curb and gutter and sidewalk a day.
Yeah, no.
Anybody else?
Matthew Payne, Spark Fire Chief. So we're not really taking a stance either way on the side of this, but we did want to address the impact that it does have to the fire department to better inform everybody of like what our true concerns are with speaking with other chiefs in the board. So we understand the safety aspect of if we take down the barricades, if we do have a call, it not only is a safety hazard for obviously the residents, but we also have that safety hazard for personnel on scene with cars trying to still navigate around them. And it is a smaller road, narrower road, et cetera. However, the biggest impact, Split Rock Heights still remains the safest per se, if you want to say from response wise, from our apparatus, Sioux Falls apparatus, the ambulance, and just personnel, because 17 of our firefighters live on that side of the construction, 8 of which are 15 responders. So 8 responders have easily a 15 to 16 minute ETA to get around the construction, to get to the station, to take a truck. In perspective, on the other side of the river, we have 2 active of our 15 responders. So when we look at like our analytics of our calls and stuff like that, Split Rock Heights isn't necessarily impacted by the construction for response wise, but there is a significant impact to Maple, Kim Circle, Rowena, and those areas, just as far as personnel getting apparatus into those areas in a timely fashion. So we just wanted to express our concern as far as that goes. We understand why the barricades are wanting to be up. It's definitely a love-hate relationship. No one loves them, but everyone wants the construction to be over with and done. But there is a significant impact that is coming from our end over. So we've had calls in the last 3 weeks that have had pretty long response times. If it's not a Monday through Friday daytime response, it does have a little bit of an impact on response.
Can you say that again? If it's not a Monday through Friday, so if it's a Monday through Friday, there's not an issue?
Local business firefighters that are serve the area can respond relatively quick Monday through Friday. But when they're at home or on their weekends, stuff like that, like our nighttime and weekend responses, significantly delayed, because that's usually where like I don't want to call them the Sioux Falls residents, but like on the other side of the construction, usually kind of pick up some of the call line there.
Do you have any data that you've been tracking in terms of, here's the calls, here's how long it took to respond, here's an outcome that was shown to be adversely impacted, or, here's the call, here's what typically that would take? I mean, just any data like that? Do you have anything like that?
We have the delays, we don't have.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that, sorry.
Sorry, we have the delays, we can show the delays, we can't show like on average, just because there's so many factors as far as, like if we look 2 years ago, for instance, the same address, it's not only the factor of like, did I respond from home, or who was on that first truck, where did they come from? And we don't have the where they came from information, so it's not necessarily accurate as far as the true response size. But we do have we did have a call on over off Madison and the first development off to the left or to the north there. And it had about a 5 minute longer response time, just because by the time I made it through 5 o'clock traffic was the first truck out, so.
So I guess what I'm getting at is, because I want to make sure that we have good data. So if you're able to, and I'm not putting you under oath and doing the whole lawyer thing, but are we able to reasonably show that the response time is increased by X number of minutes because of inability to get through the court site versus just the traffic is awful because of the road closure? because it's gonna be increased regardless, because we don't have, whether it's open or not, it's just gonna be delayed. So that's what I'm trying to get at, is if you're able to put something together in terms of here's Monday through Friday, and maybe it's keep it closed on Monday through Friday when there's not a problem with response time, and open it on the weekends when there's not as much traffic going through there. Because if you're saying the response time is not impacted during the weekday, so I'm just trying to get the data. So if you're able to maybe go back and get us some quantified data that we think it took 5 minutes longer on 2 calls or on 8 calls, or and I know you can't say with certainty, but that's helpful for them to.
So we can pull that information.
Okay.
So.
Another thing we could probably do is, all your trucks got all your volunteer firemen got blue lights, they don't?
No.
We need to get them for them, or what?
So, I mean, just to kind of get you the price tag on that, so like for a single dash light, would be about $200, which isn't bad at all. It will move 0 traffic. The lights that I have on my truck will move traffic, but that costs about $3,000.
I'm not trying,
But that's where, like.
I'm talking to, if they go through that, move the barricades, they got a blue light,
Yeah.
that would inform these residents here that it is a fire, they do have a reason to move them. That's what I'm getting at.
And can your firefighters move them and not replace it by themselves?
We could,
And I understand it's gonna take longer, but I mean, if they had a blue light on and they move it and they don't take the time to put it back, physically, could they do that?
I mean, there's that possibility. I'm just not sure, feasibility, I guess.
What's the feasibility issue?
Well, I mean, there's a lot that weighs into like who's coming from what direction. So if we're cutting through, we're stopping to move the barrier. With that slow response, for instance, for a medical call, I'd be more inclined to, if it's gonna be about the same time, just go direct, going around compared to going to the station and grabbing additional apparatus. So, but if it's a fire, then yeah, it would make sense to just move the barricade because everyone's gonna wanna go grab apparatus. So.
The gal in the corner.
So,
you had
just a
your-
second, real quick. So when you're doing the data, if you can delineate between the medical calls and the fire calls?
Yep.
Because I think what you're saying is if it's a medical call, you're not coming here.
It might just be a wash then,
Yeah.
So
So if you can get us some information, it'd be helpful that, maybe we can talk later after you look at it and you can explain it so that we have data to be able to have them decide what their interpretation of it is.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
The gal in the back, she's been having quite a while.
I just had 2 questions.
I didn't get your
One-
name, sorry.
Janine Horner.
Okay.
2 things, people are taking the barriers down all the time, very efficiently. The second thing, I just had a question about if your timing is going through around the area of 26th Street that's blocked now, or is your timing when that's open, because that'll be open for a week and a half,
So
to make it more efficient?
it was, so all the calls, for an example, are from before 26th Street was closed. We've only had a few calls since 26th Street has been closed, and it's kind of hard to essentially use that timing data effectively, because there is some Madison that's still relatively the same amount of time, so.
Okay,
And also depending on peak times there, traveling either direction on 26th or Madison is, I mean, you're sitting half a mile of traffic.
So there's 2 solutions to that barricade problem and emergency responders. One, we've talked about where you just move the barricades. 2 would be to park a fire truck in front of the barricades. They drive up to the barricade, they get out, they get in the fire truck, they go.
But they don't have their equipment.
But they can take it down to here, and they took 30 seconds off of their trip down there.
Kurt Anderson, I live on the corner there by the gate and I just watch people. I'm not gonna go and talk to them anymore because they get upset and they're gonna beat you up. So anyway, it's usually about 10 seconds. They're out of their car, move it, they're on their way. And I go out, put it back. If it's a fire, go ahead, take it down.
Yeah, we'll put it back.
Yeah, no problem. I'll put
Yeah.
it back up. I'm not gonna argue with anybody.
they wanna go through it, they can.
I think if you wanna save money, I'm not sure your speed bumps and your speed limit signs are doing anything. Cause
They're
once they're over that speed bump, they're gone.
You can take the speed bumps.
And you can take the speed bumps out. If you're coming from east to west, they don't see the speed limit sign because it's facing the other direction. So if you want to save money,
You can
take
all
them
that
out.
It doesn't-
They're not doing anything.
Virgil, did you look at
And
it?
that's where our problem lies, is people speeding down through there.
Hasn't it been less speed now that they have the bumps and stuff? I didn't do a comparison, because we are gonna move, I'm gonna move one over to Hidden Valley. But,
Take the one at the end of the.
but it did, I thought the data right away showed that it's slow.
Last week, the average speed was 21 miles an hour.
Nice. Yeah, it's been really good.
Yeah, it
Must have helped some.
it helps some, and maybe by the data and stuff in there, it showed that the speed bumps are slowing them, but maybe they might go in between them or not be right by our sign, but.
Actually, the speed bump at the very top by the stop sign, we witnessed people want to go around it and drive through that poor lady's yard
Yeah,
to get around. The one that's up at the very entrance of
Driving
the
her
target,
yard.
they're coming
Yeah,
that
that one
way.
you've got to slow down anyway to turn the corner. That one you just slow.
All right.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, for the record, that there are a percentage of people that move those barriers, but by and large, when those barriers are up, it is a drastic increase in volume, speed, and safety, and so it is working in that way, and so I do think that the speed is lower, because generally, it's not people that are looking to cut through there, it is the residents of the neighborhood, as it.
Okay. Anybody else? Quick, Joe?
I'm Joe Eggy, long-term resident of Spur Rock Township. Currently live on 38th Street, kind of over past Bud's place. Owner of a third generational business that's been here for 48 years in the township. 16-year veteran with the volunteer fire department here. Spent 2 years as an assistant chief, second assistant chief, and 4 years as the chief. I retired in 2023 after my second term as chief and the birth of my daughter. To say I've dedicated my life to this township is an understatement. I'm raising my family here because of the awesome things that Spur Rock Township did for me growing up. The issue of Quartzsite being blocked from the public travel is deeper than just the safety. Many other roads constitute the same safety concern. 41st east of 6 Mile, all the way up through Riverview, Maple, from Isaac Walton all the way to Brandon. Basically any road here, we could all claim safety. 265th, that's a highway over there. One person was clocked on 41st Street over by Virgil's place doing about 90. Is that right?
Well, there's certainly 60.
Certainly 60. So my family, my wife, my kids, the neighbors, they're all on 41st Street riding their bikes too. It is a general aspect of safety. They have to look out for cars. But I don't think Quartzsite's seen maybe that speed. I haven't seen our roads being blocked off down on 41st or Maple either. The impact of needlessly closing the other public roadway, especially during 26 and Arrowhead construction, it's more than just people's time. The long-established businesses here are really taking a direct hit.
But that's not Quartzsite's fault.
Just
That's
just let him speak,
Not,
please.
as for myself and my employees, I can account for over 10 hours on the clock of extra travel time per week. And that's not billable in my industry. I've lost tens of thousands of dollars since this closure. And I've seen over a 10% decrease in sales per month since this closure. And I can't speak for Uncle Ed's, can't speak for Arrowhead Auto, all the other places, the new Casey's, all the businesses. I think there's a simple solution: open the road, uphold existing laws, speeding, reckless driving,
We've called the sheriff.
Just let
They're
him
all
speak,
punishable.
We have
please.
problems in my neighborhood too, with people speeding, we call the sheriff, get a license plate. I believe in your guys' neighborhood, there's also, road restrictions. We can get license plates, company vehicle numbers, and charge them accordingly. If the road gets beat up, either they pay for it, City of Sioux Falls can pay for it. I won't pull my trailers through there, I won't tell my tow truck drivers to go through there. I mean, that's a common courtesy. But for me, I mean, it's adding days and days of travel during these months. And I know you guys are watching it like a hawk, so if you guys just jot down those companies that are driving through there, we can call them up, township can call them up, say don't go through there. That's not a construction site. But why punish the rest of us that are law-abiding citizens? And it's wreaking havoc on us, some people financially. So there is a petition in circulation. My wife put that out there. I will admit that. If you're in favor of it being open, please sign it. We'll talk to Lisa about the extra legalities that we need to do to put a formal one together with people that live locally. But just I'll let you know that it's me and my wife putting that together. And thank you for listening.
So to respond to just a petition, just real quick, if there's no legality, if somebody wants to submit something signed by people for the supervisors to consider, you can always present that at a meeting. So I have no legalities. This isn't a voting petition.
We've tried what he recommended. We've called the sheriff. My husband was almost ran off the road. The sheriff said he'd come take a report.
Never did.
He never showed up. We've called the sheriff about speeding and we've asked if we could take license plates and he said unless we actually physically see them ourselves doing it, we can't do anything. So we've taken some of those things that you said. We've also tried to talk to some of the businesses that are moving them and there was I won't even repeat it because it was horrible what they said to her husband. So we have tried to do that. I even tried calling Rogers and talking to the office and saying, hey, we're trying to be nice here, right? So we have tried some of what you've said and it's not been successful, but I don't think what the businesses realize is those apartments down there behind Casey's, that whole traffic would come through and they're younger people and they were very disrespectful, and they're the ones that would flip us off and call us names if we.
I understand.
Yeah.
I've been staying on the side.
Yeah, so, but we've tried a lot of what you said, I just want people to know that we tried a lot of that before.
I am just trying to figure out
Came
a
to this
fairness
point.
and equality to everybody
Yeah, I hear
in
you.
this area.
We don't wanna hurt the businesses, we've asked Uncle Ed's and the automotive, and they said they've been okay so far with their business, so. I mean, we tried our own resolutions as much as we could.
I guess, to ask a question to the people that live on the west side, I know there's a barricade that says local traffic only. Do you still have a ton of people coming in from the west?
We
Or
probably
is it
get
alleviated?
20 a day, they come in and they
What
come
it
down, they
alleviated?
stop, they stare at it, if nobody's looking, they go through and some of them.
It did cut it down though. So I think if we had that on both sides, that's a viable. And just 10 feet wide, like you really gotta slow down and drive through there. I do feel for you guys. I've had people
We
go
do
fast.
feel for you too, I mean, nobody should have to suffer from this, but the fact of the matter is, if you open that road, I don't care what anybody thinks, it will become a highway. Everybody eventually figures out it's open, and it just one after another after
Correct.
another. And it-
Like 41st Street and Maple.
It's different,
I
because this is
Yeah.
they're coming directly off the highway and coming around. In some of those other neighborhoods, they're just trying to find a shortcut between shortcuts. Because it's 2 miles. 2 miles that way, 2 miles back. 2 miles that way, 2 miles back.
I think we're wearing
You heard what I said. It is.
we're wearing this down. Anybody got any new comments to say on?
I do. I want to just figure out what we have to do to not have to come to every meeting and talk about this every time. Can we keep it closed? Can we just say we're gonna keep that closed until this construction's done, or do we have to talk about this every time?
Well, they have said in their prior meetings that it's going to be closed until further notice.
what's further notice? This is a
And
2-year
they
project.
are the ones that take into consideration information, and when it is on the agenda, the supervisors are the ones who place it on the agenda. And when it's on the agenda, they're gonna consider it. So if it's on the agenda, they're going to be, I don't know that they're going to make a change, but they're gonna talk about it. So. you
This
can
one here
always-
just got in there one way. Someone thought, well, no, let's leave it. And then went back and forth.
Yeah.
so
So,
if it's on the
if it's on the agenda, it's gonna be talked about.
That's what I wanted.
So,
So here's
We don't want
another
to waste your
thought.
time every time either.
Here's another thought. What if we close it off at Veterans and everybody had to go around? You know, it's only 2 miles, right?
I go that way all the time. I go around.
That have our kids get ran off the road.
You're on the record?
but I don't know how that's promoting safety. I'm just, you know, they closed it because they were concerned about safety, right?
Yeah.
So I haven't heard, and so if there's a point there, tell me, but if closing it there, does that
I
promote?
just had to throw it out there.
Okay, okay.
Are you saying close restaurant time only?
He's just being the devil's advocate.
I mean,
Okay.
All right.
Back to
it
some,
changes, but doesn't change the safety issue, or drive the other way, if that.
okay, then just, if nobody has something new, then,
No one's got anything new. We're gonna move on.
so there's no change in Quartzsite at this
No,
time?
it's gonna
Is-
stay closed.
There's no action being taken,
Thank you.
but I will visit with the fire chief and connect. I can't recognize you, that's all.
It's an easy one. Lisa Anderson, could we get some new sandbags?
I'll tell them tomorrow.
Okay. I appreciate
They're
that.
getting wore out.
Thank you.
All right.
They're pretty destroyed. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, now we get to elected officials updates. Todd, you want to start? What's going on?
I ran, 41st Street. I did. 8 times today pulling the round bales. And, my comment on that is there's probably less, I think statistically, there's a third the traffic on 41st Street than there was on Quartzsite when it was open. And that's a section line road. This is just me talking, and today I did that pulling hay rack. And again, the other point I have about the volume of traffic, which was that it was lighter at that time for a section line road versus a residential road. I understand the opening the roads and closing them and what's a section line and what's a residential road, what the city has for statistics, but I'd just like to say that having done that today, and the other part about it is a lot of our gravel roads are smoother than the city streets in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I'm serious. I think our gravel roads are in fantastic shape right now. The downside of how good they are right now is when we go to blade them, it chews up bits like crazy. But that's part of life. That's my comment. Trying to shed a little light on everybody's woes and concerns. The other thing for the fire department, is there anything with your mutual aid that you do that you can step that up on each side of the closures? And I know you have mutual aid, being on the fire department myself, but I'm not very active right now, for other reasons. But, I know the city of Sioux Falls responds on that side of the closure. You got Valley Springs, you got Brandon.
Why don't I talk with the chief since he left?
I'm just saying, can they step that up for mutual aid? I ain't saying it's gonna.
We do have mutual aid contracts, auto aid contracts.
Yeah.
If anybody, I know in my 16 years that we've had 3 house fires up there.
Right, right.
And I'm sure you guys are aware Sioux Falls does respond to that. I'd say for this side, I know Matt was saying the responders are coming from that side to here. For this side, getting a response out of Brandon is pretty tough. There's a lot of times we actually respond, I shouldn't say a lot of times. We do respond to Brandon.
Right.
Time to time to assist them, so. And there is a major difference in fire departments between Sioux Falls and any volunteer fire department.
Understood.
They're sitting next to the truck waiting for the dumps to go off.
Right, understood. But I just wanted to throw that out. My elected official update got a little lengthy there.
I would assume the mutual aid thing, being a 40-year volunteer firefighter, Split Rock, Valley Springs, That's automatic, but that is determined by the County Fire Chiefs Association. So, I mean, would it be a thing where you propose to them, hey, can you guys come a little bit further?
Sure.
You know, I think that would be, you know, if you're inquiring about that, you'd go to a county fire chiefs meeting, Matt would be able to dictate
Okay.
for you guys to them folks.
Good.
There is safety protocol set in place. If after 120 seconds, nobody answers up.
Yeah.
They'll redispatch, and then after like 60 seconds, they'll dispatch another.
Right.
So,
Okay.
you guys are in good hands either way.
Yeah.
But
All right, I just wanted to throw that out there. Thank you.
Mark?
I guess I don't have anything. We haven't had any disasters, so.
Give it an hour.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just go over a little bit what our part-time person is doing for this township. He went out and mowed all the ditches, one swat in, not all the way to the fences. We'll do that this fall. We are gonna look at getting a boom mower. I got the prices of it. We can get it rented by the day or rent it by the week or by the month. And that'll be to go in and cut any shrubs out of the ditches, grind them out and new trees growing. We kind of want to wait till the farmers get their fields out. So then if it's easier to go around the backside, they might let us in some of them fields to reach some of them areas. So we can get rid of the trees growing in the ditch. That's one thing we talked about. Another thing is in Hidden Valley, going back to that, we got that section of ditch that's no one took care of the trees on it and no one's mowing it. It's over on Hidden,
East side.
the very first one from the east, back into that big cul-de-sac or circle.
Okay.
But we're gonna do that Friday. They're gonna cut the trees out and then mow it all down. So, other than that, he's going along the ditches now, and so he can do it legally. He bought some ester from Runnings. He asked me, can I legally do that? I said, well, if they're selling it over the counter, I'm sure you can, because otherwise you gotta have a permit. I have to have a permit, you do too, Russ, and Marv, all of us do. But if you buy it over the counter, there's not much restrictions on it. So we're doing that. With that said, and anything else comes up, don't be afraid to call, send me a text message or an email, and we'll get on it. I mean, we'll look at it and see what's gotta be done and go. So that's all I got.
Okay, Maple, they send messages and stuff in there. They're pretty close to finalizing that 60% design. And just to have it, there is still no movement on funding it or anything else there, but they are getting close to approving that. And more changes after they do the 60% design on Maple. And then under Rowena, you had been contacted, right, too? Right up with it. But on Rowena, on Brownstone, and on the other side, not our, we accepted Brownstone, but on the other side, there's a platted road for Brownstone. The police are planning on putting a license plate reader for.
Who's the police?
The police,
The
county.
Sheriff's office?
Yeah, county sheriff.
Yeah, county sheriffs.
Said they wanted to put a license plate reader there. It's basically to get for like Amber Alerts, warrants, warrants and stuff in there. They talked about it, that they're gonna put it there. My question was, is that they didn't have any blinking lights on it. Showing power or anything. They said nope. And it's not gonna flash when, it picks up the license plate. So they do plan on putting it red on that, would be the north side of Brownstone there in 42. Other than that, I don't have anything.
Okay. Let me see.
I'm not an elected official.
You're not, you're standing for Pam.
Nope,
You're Pam tonight too. You got two
I'm
positions.
doing notes.
Okay. Okay, so public comment. Do we have anybody who's got any other discussions?
I want to thank you for how
Well, can
nice
you, wait,
Chuck Park. How good Maple is.